Hi, class, and happy Sunday. I hope you've all had a great weekend and you are enjoying this gorgeous weather that we all deserve. You've been outside taking breaks from work and from school and just enjoying the sunshine. Our week ahead for week 14 is really straightforward. As I mentioned in our instructional video last week, we really are only working on finishing the culminating Unit 2 project this week and then focusing on the unit test. Okay, so yesterday, or I shouldn't say yesterday, last week, I posted the unit test review sheet for you. So I hope that you've taken a look at that already because it is actually a really great tool. And of course, it's really important, as you would have learned by now, and certainly with your first unit test, that you do actually study for the tests in our e-learning class. So just to break down the week, your participation activity is here. Of course, this is for your attendance for the week, so make sure you complete that. And like I said, really all you need to worry about this week is finishing up your motivation and stress in the workplace project. That's due at 8 a.m. on Wednesday morning. So I've given you that extra time because it is a major assignment, is worth a large portion of your grade. It is the culminating task for Unit 2. And you were given it obviously last week. So the idea is that you're putting a lot of effort into this project. So it is due no later than 8 a.m. on Wednesday, May 18th. So make sure that you do submit that into the Dropbox. And of course, it depends on how you're doing your submission. You have a choice whether you do the video interview or the written interview, whatever works best for you. But just make sure that all the pieces of your assignment are there and that the video is accessible. And that you test that and make sure that, even sending the video to somebody else to make sure that they can open it before you submit it to me is really important. And then outside of that, you have your unit test to write. You can write this test at any time this week up until next Monday at 8 a.m. So making sure that you decide when you want to write this test this week is really important. And again, you can write it on the weekend, on the long weekend if you want, up until the Monday morning. So Victoria Day is Monday morning. You don't have school, but you can't write it past 8 a.m. that day. It is due by 8 a.m. You have 75 minutes to complete the test. Once you open the test, that 75-minute clock begins. If you do have an IEP, I did set that up mostly, I think, correctly for those who have an IEP, but it's always best just to be your own best advocate. Send me an email to make sure that I did set that up for you properly so that when you open the test, you do have that extra time and that it doesn't become an issue for you. It's always just good to double check, okay? Your unit test review sheet has been linked into the weekly document as well. Again, like I said, I did post it last week on our activity feed, and it really is a great resource. I've taken the liberty, and this is not something you'll get next year at university, but I've taken the liberty of kind of breaking down everything that you really need to focus on. So for example, in this unit, there were a number of readings that you had to do, making sure that you review those slide decks as well as the textbook readings. And then again, really understanding that content, because what I'm going to be looking for on the test is that you are connecting to the content that we learned in this class, this unit. So showing me, proving to me that you know the work, that you've done the readings, that you've gone through the slide decks. Okay, so that's for chapter 4, 8, 11, and 10. Also, making sure that you are referring to some of the readings that we've done too, the articles, for example, the workplace stress article, as well as the TED Talk on how to make stress your friend. You're going to find that you need that content in the test. Again, a number of students failed the first unit test. You may think that's absolutely impossible to do in an e-learning class because it's just you and your computer and you can basically have all your resources in front of you. But because you have 75 minutes, if you don't study and all you're trying to do during your test is figure out the answer from another site or another source, you're going to run out of time, number one. And again, the answers are just not going to be as robust. Also, you do have to refer to the content from the class. If I see that you're going onto Google for the sites, for the answers, I can tell, right? That's cheating. So don't do it. You are expected to do the work in class and then make reference to that throughout the test. That's why this is a test, right? Okay, so that's what I'm looking for the unit test coming up. If I haven't said it enough, I'm going to say it again. Study just as you would for any test in any course. Okay, it's not a free ride here in e-learning land. Also, most of you are preparing for college and university. That's coming up in just a few months in your lives. So think of this as preparation for that. Okay. And that's it. That's really all you have to focus on this week, which is so straightforward. So, again, making sure you have that project in by Wednesday at 8 a.m., and then making sure that you write your test by Monday at 8 a.m. Okay. And then we move on to the final unit of the course. It's kind of a partial unit because we are getting very, very close to the finish line. We only have a couple weeks left until final performance tasks, and I will start talking about the final performance task next week, because you'll have to choose a book to start reading and preparing for. So that's something that you might want to get a jump start on. So I will address that next week in our instructional video as well. So stay tuned. Okay. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you online.